everybody. Welcome to Pink Shade. It's Monday, and that means I'm talking to Keisha. We're going to talk about
Hey.
love during lockup. Keisha, we don't have to
Yes.
talk about Match Me Abroad anymore because it's over.
Well, you know what? But there is some good news. Harold did a GoFundMe for
Mm-hmm.
Michaela, and
Yeah.
they reached their goal. I think they actually have gone over their goal.
Yeah. I gave
Yeah,
money. I did.
you did.
I
I
did.
did it. Should I feel bad? Should I go give it now? Since you did it,
Yes. Yes, you
I
should.
should.
You
Okay.
should.
Okay. I'll go. I'll go. I'll go. I'll go give her something.
Yeah. I mean, she had like stomach cancer and like uterine cancer. So she had 2 cancers.
So what is that like? Stage 2 when
I
it
don't
has
know.
moved?
I don't
Oh man,
know.
that's awful.
I don't know. But
Mm.
I am glad
Stomach
that
cancer
Harold.
is rough.
Yeah. And yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Oh
yeah.
boy.
So I don't know, but anyway, if you want, people want to go donate, you can look on Harold's Instagram, and I donated. I think I gave like $50. I was just like,
Okay.
that's
Anything helps.
anything
Anything
helps.
helps. Yes.
Wow. So we're gonna start on a sad note.
It can
The
only go up from here.
the good news is that we have Love During Lockup to talk about, and also what I have been doing these last few weeks is having to we're doubling up. We had to do Love
Mhm.
During Lockup and Match Me Abroad, and then
Mm.
also covering 90 Day the Other Way on Patreon and Supercast, and I was having to cover that show, a 2-hour show, in addition to Temptation Island. So thank the Lord, starting this week, 90 Day the Other Way is going to 1 hour, and then I'm done with Match Me Abroad. So that is 2 hours of my week I'm getting back. Very
How do you
happy.
not lose your voice?
It starts to get real rough about Thursday, Friday. It starts to get real thrush-like in the back of the throat.
I bet you need to do like performers do, like Celine Dion and Mariah Carey. They don't talk like for days before they have a performance.
I would love that. I would love for nobody to talk to me. It would be great. But
Uh,
unfortunately,
Not gonna happen.
who
Mm-mm.
run this
No.
world, girls? Me. I run this house.
Yes.
So nobody can do,
Yes.
like, today I went to the pool. I was like, today's my only day really because I've got so much stuff this week that I'm really going to have a couple hours to just go sit. I'm going to talk to my friend Mary, my friend Tracy, my friend Whitney. I haven't seen them in a while because we've all been out of
Mhm.
town. Just going to go and sit with my girls at the pool. Well, of course, about an hour into the sitting and chatting with my friends, Dave's like, "Can you go to the grocery store on your way home?" It's like,
No.
no, I'm not going to the grocery store in my bathing suit and my cover up. Nobody needs to see that. We're not at the beach. I can't do that. So, no, I'm not. So I didn't.
So that in our household, it's the opposite. James would never, ever, ever ask me to go to the grocery store. It is always, hey, James, can you run by HEB? Hey, James, can you? I hate the grocery store more than
Yeah.
life itself.
I
I
do a
just,
lot of pickup at the grocery store. Like I do
me
like a
too.
pre-order and then I drive up and they bring it to your car. They don't
Yeah.
always get it exactly right, but to me, it's worth
Every
the
now and then.
pain.
Yes, it is. Last week they missed one thing, but I'm like, you know what? I can do without those yogurt popsicles as long as I don't have to go in that goddamn store.
Oh, a yogurt popsicle sounds really good.
Yes, and it's so hot, right? Like in
Yeah.
Texas, like all of our grass, I'm gonna send you a picture. It's all burned. We have
Oh
no
my
green
God.
grass right now. No, it's horrible. I mean, it's scary. Like for
It
real.
is scary. It is scary.
Yeah. Yeah.
You guys, the world's going to hell in a handbasket. We said we were going to bring it up, but we're only bringing it further down.
Well, and it's starting right here in Texas because hell is on fire right now here. It's
Oh my
horrible.
God. Hopefully, guys, you get a break soon. Like it's that way in Mississippi too. That's all they talk about is how hot we had a couple of weeks where it was like 100 every day, but we've gotten a
Hmm.
break. I mean, it's still in the 90s, but it's not like
Right.
over 100 every day. It's gotten a
Yeah.
little bit better.
No, not for us here.
You
It's
just
not
stay
safe.
inside. Just stay inside.
Because you get angry and you want to fight when you go outside. I don't want people to look at me. I don't want anyone to talk to me. Don't ask me questions. Like every question is stupid. It's like it is too. The other day I went out. It was so hot. It was traffic everywhere. I think it was like tax-free weekend. I had like a mini panic attack. I had to come home and take half a Xanax. It's like I can't take life right now.
I get it. I get it. Speaking of that, so we gave our dogs trazodone on the car ride because they act
Mm-hmm.
so crazy in the car. Violet, on the way there, we didn't give her the full dose because we didn't know it didn't work. So on the way home, we gave her the full dose of what she's supposed to get, and we gave Ginger like half of that because she's
Mm.
a lot less. Nope, didn't work on Ginger. Nope, she just the
Wow.
whole 6 hours just wide awake, looking around, panicked, going from one lap to another lap to the floor to trying to get into bed with Violet. She could
Aww.
not settle. And so I'd get her in my lap, like on top of a pillow, and like, which is not
Mhm.
comfortable for me, by the way. But I'm
Right.
like, you get comfortable, and I just kind of rub her head, like we're gonna calm
Mhm.
down. We're gonna take a look. Look at Violet over there. Violet just snoozing in her bed, strapped in, doing her thing. Nope. Ginger's like, I'm not gonna close one eye. I don't know what's happening in this car.
I'm not trusting the situation that I'm in right now. Like, what is going on here? Poor
And
girl.
she kept like on the way to the beach, she kept turning around and like facing the back of the seat. I
Uh-huh.
kept telling Dave, I go, she keeps turning around and facing the wall. He's like, what's the wall? I go, like the back of the seat. Like she's at some point she just turned around and staring at the back of the seat. Like Dave's like, and then you'd reach your hand back there to try to pet her, and she wouldn't even like look at you or lick your hand or anything. She's like, furious.
That is like something from a horror movie. When they start
Yes.
just staring at the wall, then they start banging their head on the wall like there's
Yes.
something in here. It's the equivalent of that motherfucker back there is not real. And she's just staring.
I know. Well, how come nobody's interviewed that girl to find out what was wrong with her?
Well, she's just now like speaking out, like within the last couple of days, and I haven't done a whole deep dive, but she did like some interview or something from like her $1 million mansion.
Oh, okay. All right, so we don't need
Yeah.
to well, maybe she just didn't wanna be in the back of the plane. Maybe that was what was offensive to her.
There's so many stories. I would love to know exactly what was going on with her because she looked really cute. I mean, if you're gonna go crazy on a plane,
Yeah,
look like how she looked because she looked really cute. Like, hey,
yeah, yeah, it's
yeah,
better than being dragged out, like, in your shower shoes and
yeah,
being tackled. Yeah, so, yeah,
yes, most
I
definitely
need to know what kind of psychotic break or what she was on, so I'll make sure not to take that
something,
medication. Yeah.
right?
Oh, Lord. All right, well, let's get started with these people. So we're gonna start with Andy, and you said
Mm.
before we got started. Oh, by the way, it's season 4, episode 45. Who knows what that means? I think it means episode 5. You're the Inmate is the name of the episode. By the way, I reached out to my person that sends us the screeners and was like, "Can you explain to me the numbering of these episodes?" And, no response.
'Cause they
So
can't explain it. It
mm-mm,
cannot be explained. I think it's just
mm-mm.
total laziness, maybe. It's just like, fuck it. Well,
I
either
think they're
watch the
just
show or
like
you don't watch the show.
yeah, it's rolling into the season before.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever. So anyway, we're gonna start with Andy and Brittany. But what's the scoop you have on Andy? You said,
So this is something that I saw.
uh huh.
I can't tell you if it's 150% true,
Okay,
but we all know Andy. So
uh huh.
I'm thinking that this is the truth. So apparently, Andy is still married, but not to the first wife, to his second wife.
Mm,
And she found out about what's going on. So she decided to make some posts on social media. Here's
good
one.
for her. Good for her.
Definition of a narcissist was just at my house Wednesday telling me he loves me and he's sorry. Today he's asking her to come back. He's a habitual liar. He thinks he's more than what he is, and he ain't even a bag of chips. See, that's how I know it's real, because he ain't a bag of chips. He ain't got a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of. He's in debt and big time and changes jobs like underwear.
Ew.
Sounds like our Andy. And then she also says, he told me all about the show while it was filming. All the details he's not supposed to tell. I only found out about her a few weeks ago. He's a sick shit. I sent her our messages and she left him. So apparently he and Brittany are no longer together.
So this was wife number 2, not the mother
Of the children.
of the children. So I
Mm-mm.
cannot wait. I hope that these girls, the what are their names? Allison and Jessica. I hope they drag him for
Destiny.
filth on this show.
Destiny. You can
Destiny?
never get Destiny. It's Destiny.
It's not
Allie and
Jessica.
Destiny. No. Mm-mm.
Because their
No.
wall said A and J, so that's where I've come up with Jessica. I've made it up completely.
You did.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's
All
okay.
right. Okay. All right. So Allison and Destiny. So I can't wait for them to because they hate their dad. Yeah.
Clearly, especially since it looks like he goes to their house to do his laundry.
Totally. It's like an hour away. He's like, well, may as well take my laundry, make it worth the trip.
Yeah, right?
He does drive an Infinity though, so I mean, there's that.
That's all he's got going for him. That is it. That is where the buck stops, right there.
Mm, mm, mm. And we need his friend, junior policeman. We need his friend to come back and give us some more scoop because he's like,
So
this guy.
so I did ask like a couple of cops, like I told them Andy's story and about the whole job situation. They said bullshit. Bullshit. They're like, there's tons of single dads who are cops. They said it most definitely sounds like he got fired for doing something pretty bad.
Uh-huh. Because why would
Hmm.
he give up that, like, cop pension and everything?
No one would.
Well,
Mm-mm.
that's a tiny town. They need all the cops they can get probably.
Right? So they can stop having junior police officers.
That guy, poor guy. All right, so we start with Andy, and he's driving around bitching about what his daughter says. And he's like, now I don't even know if I'll get to see Brittney tomorrow or meet her daughter, Gracie. And you know what? If I was such a horrible father, how did they turn out so good? They've got that washer and dryer, and I don't. He's like, I think Allison and Destiny, who I wrote as Jessica, Allison and Destiny misremembered the past, and we really need to work on our relationship. They don't want to work
he
on it. They don't like you.
they know all about who you are, what you've done. He's just I don't even know if he's a narcissist. He's something else, like a little bit, because he's not full narcissist, but
Right.
he he remembers as he pleases. I'll say
Uh-huh.
that.
Okay. Yeah.
And he does not take accountability for anything that he does.
No.
No,
No.
he just doesn't.
So then Brittany calls and he's like, hey, driving back. It's raining. And she's like, karma. And he says, and then she says, well, Gracie called to cancel your visit for tomorrow.
Mhm.
But because you guys registered together for the visit, you both have to come or she can't come at all.
I
Now,
never heard of that.
never heard of that. Of course, I
Uh-uh.
mean, I've never visited somebody in prison, so I don't know. But
But we know so much already, though, because I mean, we have been in the correction systems for a while now
yeah,
via television. This
hmm
is new. I was like, is that true? That sounds kind of,
that you could
I
be
don't
like,
know.
oh, three people were going to come, but now only two
Right.
are. And they're like, okay, well, then nobody can come. I don't think so.
Yeah. I don't know.
I
The
don't
math
know.
ain't mathing.
Nope. And he says, well, you don't sound so enthused. Like you just want me to come so she can come. And she's like, well, yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Hmm.
she says, just come and we can talk, but don't bring any of that drama from yesterday when my daughter is here. I don't want to hear any of that drama. So
Hmm.
I'm already like, Brittany's already smarter than this guy because she's like, my daughter's coming to visit me. And this is like the one time a week or month I get to see her. And I don't want, I'm trying to work on our relationship. Don't bring your bullshit.
Well,
So,
yeah, she said that, but then she also said, we need to talk face to face.
yeah.
I'm like, okay, you don't want him to bring the drama, but how are y'all going to talk face to face if your daughter's there? Because then she's going to be brought into the drama. I,
Well,
I don't
right, but
know.
maybe she means we could calmly discuss it in front of my daughter,
Okay.
or maybe
Okay.
send her to get a candy bar or something. I don't know.
He was
Send her.
giving me anxiety driving in that rain like that. Like nothing says love like driving through a rainstorm while you're on the phone holding your cell phone.
I was like, get a phone holder or get
Yes.
AirPlay, something. Why
Yeah.
do you have to hold it while you're talking?
I
The,
don't
the rain
know.
is pouring.
It was bad. I'm like, oh, I need him to stop. Like, can a producer please tell him to put his phone down? Like, it's kind of dangerous.
I was nervous about that too, but I'm just a nervous Nelly. Like if I saw my kid driving like that, I'd be pissed.
Me too. No more driving for you for a month.
That's right. Till you can
Yeah.
learn to behave. So
Mm-hmm.
he was like, well, yeah, I look forward to working this out. Sure. Then we get a little interstitial, which is the last we get of Andy, which is Andy working on his acoustic guitar number, a welcome home song for Brittany. Now, I got to say,
Mm.
at,
What,
at,
Mary
fir- at, fir-
Payne?
at first listen, I was like, well, this isn't horrible. It's not
Uh-huh.
good, but it's not terrible. Like, all right, he could
Mm-hmm.
play in front of the church or something or a coffee shop. All right. But then I realized he literally was just playing like the same three chords over and over and over, over and over
You
and
know
over,
what?
over and over.
It,
Yeah.
it reminded me of like 90s sitcoms, like comedy sitcoms, where like the lead character guy who's always funny, like a Zach Morris, all of a sudden wants to become a songwriter and writes a song. That was
Yeah.
Andy's song right there, except it was off key. It was really, the singing was off key,
Yeah.
big time.
Well, it was
Yeah.
all about how their love will withstand time and whatever. Now, meanwhile, he's married to somebody else, we found out. So he's married to somebody else and he's telling his second wife all about filming the show with this inmate that's his new girlfriend. And then he tries to come back to his second wife. And
Mm-hmm.
what? Okay, Andy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm gonna do some more digging.
Yeah, Andy's got game? Question mark. I don't.
He apparently, I think it's because he used to be a damn cop. You've always got that going for you. I was in law enforcement.
Okay, well,
Women find that sexy.
I guess they do. That
Yeah.
and the acoustic guitar playing. All right. So let's go to LaTisha and Keith. All right.
Mm.
Now, I did notice when she was packing this week, the big picture she has above her bed. I was like, "Oh, that's cute.
Mm.
That's a picture like from the prison." No, it is a picture of him from prison, and she superimposed like a real sexy picture of herself right behind it. Yeah,
No.
because it's like a low cut, boobs out, full makeup, and she's not allowed to dress like that to go see him. So no, it's two pictures she put together to make it look like they were together.
I don't love any man that much that I would go that far as to have someone merge our pictures to hang above my bed.
Yeah.
That's a
See, that
lot.
was some
She's
good
extra.
Photoshop. That was some good
She's
Photoshop.
extra as fuck, like for
Yeah.
real.
Yeah.
Yep.
Somebody did post, I saw on some social media this week. Somebody did post like all her mugshots.
There's a few.
I
There's
was like,
more than a few.
uh-oh, girl.
Yeah. Yeah. She did have a glow up though.
Yeah, she looks great. So
Yeah.
she says, so she's packing to go see him, and she says, we can't wear anything tight, too revealing, camouflage, or khaki.
Oh, I didn't get the khaki.
The khaki I
Maybe
didn't get.
some prisons, their uniforms are khaki, so maybe that has something to do with it. But what about the camouflage?
Yeah, why? Nobody's wearing camouflage in prison. Are they like,
I
oh, they're
don't
going to
know.
accidentally give me something camouflage so I can jump over the fence and you won't see me because I'll be camouflaged? Like, I don't.
Well, sometimes the correctional officers do have that weird green uniform
Mm,
color.
yeah.
So I don't. I'm
uh,
reaching.
I don't know. I was
I'm
like,
reaching here.
it was real specific. So she says, listen, I met with my lawyer that I'm really
Mm.
close with, Arthur, who I met last week for the first time. And he said it's a bad idea for us to be in business together because, currently you're incarcerated. And when you come out,
Mhm.
you'll be on papers. And he goes, oh, okay. Well, I don't care what the attorney says. And she goes,
Crazy.
right. Also, we talked about a post-op in
Mhm.
case something goes a post-nup, sorry. A
Right.
post-nup, if something goes left, he goes, like what goes left? Like the marriage or the business? And she goes, well, either one, but you don't have to worry about that. Like we're going to be married for the rest of our lives. But anyway, that's what he says. And
Mhm.
I think it is good to have a legal contract to be sure like we're protected and like our
Mhm.
kids are each protected.
She sounded
This
real smart. She actually
she
sounded really smart when she was telling him that.
business lady making boss business bitch babe
Boss
moves.
babe.
Yeah.
Yes, she
Boss babe.
was.
His reply is, check it out. I don't do none of that. Seriously. And if you speak certain things into existence, then that's what's going to happen. So it ain't like I'm messed up and obsessed with money. And she goes,
Yeah.
well, I think that you're taking what I'm saying the wrong way. And I have no doubts about us. So let's just forget I said that.
She just
I,
totally backed down. Mary Payne, someone who can only make collect calls to me cannot tell me what the fuck to do with my money. I'm just like,
great
stop
point.
playing on my phone. Stop. She totally, I almost felt a little bit sorry for her because she just kind of, almost like a little kid when they get fussed at. She just
Hmm.
retreated. I was like,
Yeah, she was
girl,
like, let's just forget it. Pretend I never said it.
yeah,
When like two
no,
seconds before, it was like super important.
because it is important. But
And he
I guess
said,
so is the dick. The dick is important too, and
I
that's what
guess
she's thinking
so.
about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she did that reach around, like,
Yeah.
So he says, well, now I have doubts. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not taking anything from any attorney. And now you've spoken this worry into existence and you can't take it back.
Oh
She hangs up. She's
God.
like, oh, now I got to deal with this man. I got to go fix some shit. I got to go see him at the prison.
That's insane.
So now she's in the car and she's driving. And she says, I'm ready to
Mhm.
go see my man. And I got to stand before him as his queen.
Mhm.
So she is in like a skin tight white t-shirt with some jeans and stilettos and this like hot pink tulle
Yeah.
cardigan looks like a loofah.
Well, it was funny because everything she was describing that she couldn't wear was
Mhm.
exactly what she had on. She's like, I can't wear skin tight jeans, but I've got
Yeah.
on tight jeans. Really can't show any boobs. Where you could clearly see her boobs popping out of her bra, even though it's covered up, but you can still see the outline.
Yeah.
And then the fucking loofah. And she said you can't wear see through. I'm like, but You
But that
got
is see-through.
the whole loofah thing going on. What was with the shoes? Why were they so big?
They zoomed in on the shoe. I happened to pause it, like I was trying to write a note, and it was paused right on the shoe. I was like, "The shoes
Hmm.
don't look like they fit," and they also look like that is not anything I would ever put on my feet. It looks so uncomfortable.
Well,
So
she
uncomfortable.
reminded me of Meghan Markle because Meghan Markle wears shoes like that and they're always too big.
It's because
So
it looks like your foot is sliding so
it's
far
not
down
sliding
that
far
yeah.
down. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, she looked cute for the club.
She did. She
Yeah.
says she likes to wear tight jeans for him and a real tight shirt so he could get a little nipple, is what she
Yeah.
says. What? You
For
just
her
told us you're not
king.
you just not
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
she talks to Aunt Marcia. She calls Aunt Marcia. And she also says that all this land out here stresses her out. All the land stresses
Yeah.
her out.
I would be nervous driving all that way. There's nothing there.
It was fair.
I mean,
It's
it was
mhm.
scary. Yeah, I was
It
like,
was a little scary.
uh-huh.
So she talks to Aunt Marcia and she says, "Yeah, I'm just out here freshening up my lips to be sure they taste good for Keith, and because he's my motherfucking king, okay?" And then she says, "He's on the most secure compound in the United States. El Chapo and the Unabomber have been at this place.
Why is he there?
This is this place in Colorado, which clearly is in the middle of nowhere. So even if you escaped, it'd take you 2 days to get to the road.
If you survive, there's nothing. I mean, but why is he at that prison?
I don't know because I mean he's in for drug distribution, so I mean he must have been like a real kingpin.
That's what I'm thinking too.
Yeah,
Yeah, he had to be big time. Cause damn.
she's
Someone
like,
said that the fact that he's at that prison with those same guys is not a flex. She was trying to make it like it was a flex.
right,
You
yeah,
don't know who my husband was in prison with. It's the
because it's
same prison.
El
Yeah.
Chapo. Woo! Oh my
She's
god.
getting T-shirts made with that on it right now, trying to sell them.
Hmm.
Poor thing.
So she says she is nervous because she's going in to see him, and there is this new RoboCop biatch there, so she doesn't know. I was like, I don't think this girl is worried about you. Is more she's worried about like
Right.
El Chapo, making a tunnel,
Yeah.
getting out of that prison. And we
Yeah.
should look it up if that is one of the prisons that he tunneled out of.
Oh yeah. I
Yeah,
gotta find that out.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, all right. So, listen. So, Tisha has little kids, right? And somebody's got to be at home feeding those kids while she's
Mhm.
out gallivanting around. So I hope that whoever is at home with her feeding her kids has looked into our new sponsor, which is Little Spoon. So a good way to feed your kids and make sure they're getting the nutrients they need is Little Spoon. So Keisha, I'm going to tell you about it because you have a toddler in your
Mhm.
house.
Yes,
How
little
how
Mila.
does how does Mila eat? Does she have a good? Does she eat good or like my kids were horrible?
It's every bit of how a toddler eats. Macaroni. I want macaroni.
Hmm.
Pizza. Pizza. Yeah. It's hard to get veggies in there. Any
Yeah.
of the good stuff. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So Little Spoon is something that really would have helped me a lot when my kids were. It probably would help me
Mhm.
now because the way Anna still eats like a toddler. John at least will try stuff. But Little Spoon is a one-stop shop for healthy, easy meals and snacks for your baby, like so baby food that's pureed, and then toddler when you're transitioning, and big kid foods. And it's delivered right to your door. There are
Oh,
baby
nice.
blends, which is like obviously the baby food. Then there's these bitables, which are like transition to finger foods when you're first teaching them how to get
Mhm.
off the baby food. It's just like so long ago for me. And I just like cannot believe this wasn't available.
Right.
Then there are the platables, which are like toddler and big kid meals. And they also have those smoothies that come in those cute little pouches that the kids get
Mhm.
now.
Yep.
So my nephew is really my great nephew, but I say my nephew. So my nephew James is super picky. I've just found this out that he has kind of become as he's getting closer to 3, super picky.
Mhm.
And I had Little Spoon send some to him, and he loved the plate. What he loved the most was the mac and cheese, and
Mhm.
it has hidden veggies in it, but he didn't know that. He didn't know that.
Nice.
And he loved the strawberry banana shake smoothie, which like sounds like something I
That
would
sounds
like.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So they make everything fresh and they use nothing artificial. It's all like homemade, delivered to your door, ready in seconds. You pop the meals in the fridge or the freezer, like whatever it tells you, and then you just pull them out and use them when you're ready. It's that easy. And I mean, I can remember those days, and I'm sure you can too, when you're like, oh my gosh, it's like 6 o'clock. The kids are hangry. And
Yep.
now I got to cook something, and then I got to chop it, and then I got to
Yep.
this, and then they're going to throw it on the floor anyway. It's stressful.
Yeah.
And then back to school too, when they would come home from school and they
That's
need a
right.
snack. Yes, when they come back to the
Mhm.
little preschool with the cute little backpacks.
Yep.
So, let's see. So you pop the meals in the fridge or the freezer. Use them when you're ready. It's that easy. From the baby food to the big plates in the smoothies, it ranges from like $3 to $7 for a whole meal. And I
Okay.
again wish they had it when my kids were little because it would have made
Same.
my life a lot easier.
We
All right, so
struggled.
yeah, you need to look into
Yeah.
it there for Mila.
Will do.
So making this year's back to school chaos a little more manageable with time saving, delicious, and healthy meals and snacks your kids will love. You're going to go to littlespoon.com/pinkshade and enter the code pinkshade at checkout. You're going to get 30% off your first Little Spoon order. So Little Spoon, LITTLESPOON, littlespoon.com/pinkshade and enter the code pinkshade for 30% off at checkout. And then let me know if your kiddos like it. If Mila gets some, let me know.
Will do.
All right, let's talk about Jade and Chris and
I
Jessica all talk with no excitement in their voice like Kourtney Kardashian.
They want to be the Kardashians so bad, but it ain't working. It ain't
It's
working.
wild. It's
Well,
wild.
I saw that Jade is starting a new little business,
Mm-hmm.
and she is selling Inmate of the Month hats and award certificates, right? So, unfortunately,
Okay. Okay.
unfortunately, I saw one of the hats and it says, "My husband is inmate of the month at whatever Mike Dury State Prison," but she misspelled inmate. It
Stop.
is I, yes, it is INAMTE.
INAMT.
MTE. And this is like embroidered. So, yeah. And
In
she, look, can you see it?
uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Look
In
at that.
amity. In amity instead of inmate.
Yeah.
I had to write it out.
Bless
Oh,
her heart.
bless. Are
And
the comments under it like, "You poor thing"?
yeah, I mean, you can imagine what the comments said. Just,
Like,
dude,
"You don't have 2 brain cells to rub together, you dumb."
she really does. And can I ask you a question? To me, it seems like with each episode, she's aging. Like her face looks like it. I'm like, she looks a little bit older this week. Like every week, she looks a little bit older, and I'm like, what is going on
It's
with her?
stressful. It's stressful. She's gotta run that embroidery business, and can you imagine proudly wearing a hat that says, "My boyfriend, my husband is inmate of the month at da 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 da"? First of all, like, that's I get it, it's a joke.
Mm,
Maybe part of the joke is that it's spelled wrong, but it sounds like probably not.
I don't think it was. It's Jade. It wasn't a joke. But you know what the fucked
Um,
up part about it was? Is that whoever embroidered that for her didn't say, "Hey, um, did
yeah.
you no?"
Did you mean to
Look,
yeah.
long as the check clears is all they were concerned about.
I think that all the time when I see signs that are done wrong, and I'm like,
Mhm.
nobody, no. So you put out 400 hand fans at your wedding that has
Yeah.
like your new last name with an apostrophe, and that's not how it is. It's plural. It's an S. When I see
Yes.
things that they have like the big neon signs, like
Mhm.
the John, the newlyweds, the Johnsons, and it's the Johnsons
Yes.
apostrophe. I'm like, the Johnsons what? The Johnsons house? The Johnsons wedding? The
Mhm.
Johnsons pink sign? It's not the Johnsons with an apostrophe S. You're showing no
Nope.
ownership. It's plural, you dummy.
Yes.
And you've now had 400 people stand in front of the sign and take a picture to show how dumb
Take a
you are.
picture of it. Yeah. And it never goes. But I mean, whenever you do order things like that, they do tell you, usually to do it twice, to spell it out exactly how you want it written. So they give
Yes.
you the opportunity to write it down, look at it yourself, proofread it, and then write it again. And that, as far as they're concerned, that's how you want it. I mean, they don't have time to keep,
No, they're like, maybe it's
correcting
a
people.
joke. Yeah, maybe it's a joke.
Yeah.
But it's a joke because
Yeah.
it's inmate. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Poor thing.
Okay, poor thing. So, Jade and Jessica are now in the hotel, I guess he was in Rapid City, South Dakota, but now he's in Minnesota, she says. That's
I
been
wonder
since
why he
last week.
moved.
I don't know, they move him around, but I don't
Hmm.
know.
Yeah.
So, they're in the hotel, I guess they're gonna go see him, and Chris calls, and Jess says, "Yeah, I just think we should take this opportunity at this visit to mend things with my sister." And Jess says this about Jade, and Jade's like, "Yeah, like, I can't wait for the prison powwow." And as the more she said that, I was like, "Is that culturally insensitive?" But then she tells us it is an event of Native Americans at the prison with food and
Mhm.
dancing, and it's the only time they get to visit for, like, a whole day. So it is really a thing.
But I was confused when they actually showed it because I thought, oh, you know what? I just answered my own question because I was like, there was only just the four of them, but I guess the rest of the family didn't want to be over there with Jade.
I think that we haven't seen the prison powwow yet. I think we're gonna see it tomorrow. I think this was a pre-meeting.
Oh, oh,
This is a
why is
pre-meeting.
why is Jessica there? She's only there for airtime. She brings absolutely nothing to the storyline. Nothing. She
She had
wants
a
to,
yeah,
but
she had
she's
on way too much
not.
she had on too much blush this week, it upset me. She looked like she just, like, crammed it on with 2, like, markers right under her cheeks like a Cupid doll.
You sound like my mom because I love a good blush. I love a heavy
Mm-mm.
blush. My mom's like, "You've got too much blush on." If she doesn't call it rouge.
Oh,
She's like, "You
yeah,
got too
yes.
much rouge on." I'm
Rouge,
like,
just put a little rouge, just paint your cheeks a little rouge, just a little something.
yeah.
So, Jade says, "I'm worried when we go to the prison and that Jess is gonna act up," and, he's now at a medium security prison, so things are
Mhm.
strict. So I was like, "What
Huh?
huh? Was" he's in some kind of prison where you can just talk on your phone all day, that's for sure.
Yeah, so I'm thinking it was like low level.
Right, so did he
I
get
don't
moved
know.
to a medium?
I guess we'll find out.
I guess I don't know, gotta look this guy up. So, she says, like, his mom and everybody, like, they don't even wanna meet with me, and, like, I have no idea why his mom doesn't like me. Like, I gave
Mhm.
her a Christmas gift, and she gave it back saying she doesn't even like it.
Okay,
And
that was rude as fuck.
that was rude.
That his mom did. Like, just
She
regift it or
just
something
sent
like
it
that.
back. She just sent it right back. Probably
Wow.
because she's like, "My son bought it," so,
That's true.
um
Yeah.
and then she says to Chris, like, "You're the inmate, so why would they, like, not like me? Like, should my family
Mhm.
be against you?"
I mean, she got a point.
Her
Yeah.
family is against him.
Yeah,
And,
but she has a point about, like, you're the one in prison, so,
right, "Why are you such a catch?"
exactly.
And then she says, "We've been together 5 years, like, I'm your wife. They should
Mhm.
want to get to know me." And he says, "I agree, and I do want the support from my family, but I don't get it. My mom just has issues trusting the
Mhm.
women that have been in my life." And he's already told us that he
Mm.
doesn't trust women because he's seen how his mom has acted towards men.
That's right. So
A
she
lot of
knows the
problems.
game. She knows the
That's
game,
right. That's
and
right.
she's peeping all the game with Jade.
That's a great point. So now Jessica and Jade slug wine in a parking lot, and then they're going to meet Chris's family. And Jade has on a really unflattering pant situation.
Yeah, she did. I don't, so many questions there. Like, it could have been cute, but it just was ill-fitting on her for something. It didn't
It's
flatter
ill
her at
fitting
all.
because she's tall with these long legs and
Yeah.
she's got a good body, but she wears things that are like not yeah, it's not great.
Yeah, it
So
didn't look cute on her. It did her no favors at all.
yeah, I was thinking,
None.
those Amazon pants that are supposed to make you look like you have a butt? Because they definitely would not work on me because my butt is concave, and they didn't work on her either. So,
We're
yeah,
gonna get you some booty lifters.
I need
I'm
some
gonna
booty
get you some
pads
for
or something.
BravoCon.
Oh, yay, that'll maybe I don't know. But then what if somebody grabs my butt? No, that would be inappropriate. Okay, so
Only if you're twerking.
only if you're twerking like the girls on
Yes.
Temptation Island. So, so they go to meet up with Chris's family, and I just have them written
Mhm.
down as aunt and niece. I have no idea.
Yeah.
So I didn't write their names down. So I feel like one's name
Tracy
was
was one.
Tracy, but spelled TRE dash
TRE.
CEE.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay, but was that the
Tracy.
aunt or the niece?
That was a niece.
Okay, you
No,
guys,
I'm wrong.
it's been a
I don't
it's
remember.
listen, we've seen some names on this show, but
Yeah.
TRE-CEE Tracy is pretty bad. It's pretty
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah, and I
All right.
usually like a good, like, different kind of spelling, but but maybe it
Uh-uh.
was Native American. You
I
think?
mean, no.
You
I
don't
just
think
think
so?
they no. I keep hearing fire engines and stuff. I don't know if you can hear it, but I don't know like what's going down in my neighborhood.
Maybe at the bottom
Um,
of your house. You may wanna check it out.
I think somebody would come and tell me.
Uh,
Um, I hope.
we forgot she
So
was up there.
So they're chatting about Chris's mom and why she
Mhm,
doesn't like Jade. And she's like, I don't know why she wouldn't like me. Like, I'm only trying to help him.
mhm.
But, like he is an only child and his past has like really stressed his mom out. Oh, you mean because he's in prison for like 20 years for burglary and
Right?
identity theft? Yeah.
Yeah.
And is, breaking into people's houses and doing drugs.
That'll do
So
it.
the niece, whatever her name is, says, yeah, we've always tried to cut her some slack because it has been very
Mhm.
stressful having him as a kid. And she says, "So how are you feeling about adjusting to life, when he gets out? Like, do you have a job?" And she goes, "No, because Chris just gets money, so we share a bank account and he has that
Mhm,
casino money and he just prefers to take care of me and for me not to work."
mhm.
And the niece goes, so you got married in 2018. So did you guys have a prenup? Because that's how we were raised, to get a prenup. And she
Oh,
goes,
boy.
no, of course, no. And Jessica goes, wait, ding, 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 light bulb. Do you think the family thinks she's only with him for the money?
What?
And niece goes, yeah. And I got to tell you, she tells the camera, I'm skeptical of her because of her braggy social media.
Mhm. That
We were
doesn't help.
raised we were raised to keep that stuff private. It puts a
Mhm.
bad image on our tribe that we're baller and trashy, and we're not.
Oh, yeah, Jade is kinda trashing it up a little bit there.
Yeah, because she's like,
She is.
here's some flowers that my man got me. This would cost most people like a car payment."
Those
What
flowers
kind of
are expensive.
Yeah, those ones that are, like, real tight in the
Yeah,
box.
I want them so bad. Just once in my life, I want those.
But, I mean, they are really pretty, but, like, you just put that box of smushed up flowers on your table. Do they last an extra long time? Like, what's so special?
I just wanna take pictures for social media with him, kinda
Oh,
like Jade.
okay. Well, that's what she does. So then the niece goes, to Jade, she goes, none of us are millionaires. And
Right.
the only reason he has all this money is because he's been in prison so long. So he saved it up.
Mm. Okay.
And
That makes sense.
that's interesting.
Yep.
So let's think about this. So if he's getting this stipend every month, that's $10,000.
Mhm.
The rest of them are using that 10,000. If let's just say the niece also gets $10,000 a month, she's using it to pay her rent, pay her car
Right.
payment, and then probably also has a job, and he
Yeah,
hasn't had to pay any bills.
that's
It's
right.
just pure profit.
And Jay's running through it quickly
Uh-huh.
because
Every
it
penny.
isn't. I mean, it's like what, $100,000 a year when you add it
Yeah.
all up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's not rich. And
Yeah.
the way she's blowing through it, especially, and there's no
Yeah.
extra income coming in. I mean,
Huge
he may be
purchases.
broke
Yeah,
by the time he gets out.
it's not just like her daily living. She's like, "I think I'm gonna buy a car. I think I'm gonna buy this house. I think I'll buy this
Yeah,
four-wheeler." Yeah, it's like big things.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So, when the niece says that about this is the reason he has all the money, she's like, "Oh, that's, good to know." And, I do love Chris very, very much, and it's real and genuine, and no amount of money is worth waiting around for someone in prison for 5 years.
Mm,
And, the niece says, "Here's the deal. We would like her more if she was around more and push the relationship with my family more to force it to
mhm.
happen. Like, we would like her more if she seemed like she gave a shit." So,
Right.
all right. So, loved meeting the family. They seem completely normal. They're
Unlike
horrified,
she and her family.
except
Well,
for
just
Jade's
her and her
poor.
sister.
Yeah, just her and her sister. The
Yeah.
mom and the dad, and the other sister seem totally fine.
Yeah, those 2 they've got ambitions. They would love to skin the Kardashians and wear them.
The Jardashians.
The
Okay, just Jade
Kardashians.
and
Yeah.
Jessica and Jezelyn. I don't know what that other sister's name is.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to Savannah. Everything is
Can't.
smiley and everything is great. Oh my God. Does Savannah remind you so much of freaking Michelle for Match Me Abroad with that
A
Karma
little bit.
smile? Karma
Yes.
smile.
She's got that smug look on her face, Mary Payne. I just cannot stand this girl. There's just nothing about her do I like.
She has a
Nothing.
blank smile at all times, like, like smile, smile, look around, like, what's going on? Yeah.
She's weird. She's just
Yeah.
weird.
She's a little
Uh,
off. She's a little
a little.
desperado. A little
A little.
desperado. Girl,
Yeah.
you're only 26. Like, come on. You don't need to be this desperado. So
Well, she is.
she goes to see this lawyer. I think his name is Chris Fox, but I didn't rewind because I didn't care that much. But
Did you
she's
notice his
saying,
horse collection? Hit those
yeah,
little
I
horse
did.
things.
Yeah, like I had those when I was like in elementary school. Like
I was like, oh, yeah.
they're like plastic and they're painted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We all had those at some point. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that's what he had. So she says, she's telling him, yeah, so Jake, her boyfriend, when he was in high school, he broke into the home of a local drug dealer and there was a gun present
Hmm.
during the robbery. There was a gun. So he got 35 years in prison. And then we see the headlines 19-year-old man gets 35 years in a home invasion in Waterloo. I'm assuming in Iowa. Of course, I'm like, Waterloo. Started dancing and singing. So she says, they stole some money and some weed, but there were people home at the time. So anyway, he's really been working on himself. And we submitted his commutation papers to the governor. And the lawyer goes, yeah, I did a little research on this. And did he,
Hmm.
in fact, threaten to kill people? And she was
Yeah.
like, yeah, that's right. So anyway, he did make those threats. It was kind of a mess. And like at the time, at the trial, he had to be shackled to the ground and shackled to his chair, because he was young and aggressive and he was just trying to derail the whole trial. I was like,
Do you think
oh
that added
no.
on to his sentence the way that he behaved in court, and that's why he got 35 years?
Yes, I think that
Yeah.
he could have gotten 35 years. They're like, he's only 19. He got mixed up with and let him get out in
Right.
5 if he could
Yes.
show acts of good faith. But because he acted so horrible in court, they're like, you're getting the full sentence, you dum dum.
Yeah. Yeah. She just never made mention of that in
Not
talking
before.
about him any other time. Like, well,
Mm-mm.
that like makes a lot more sense when you go and go to court acting a fucking ass. Yeah.
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 Mm,
She says, he was just an aggressive, scary kid. Well, yeah, it sounds
okay.
like it.
Well, yeah.
She says he was raised by a single mom. He had a very tough upbringing and he was always trying to be a boss and show people how tough he was. Now,
Hmm.
listen, I don't think being raised by a single mom and having a tough upbringing is an
No,
excuse because there's
absolutely not.
lots of people that have that, you know?
Shit tons. Yeah. And they're not, robbing drug dealers and threatening to kill people in the court and things
Yeah.
such as that. No. Mm-mm.
Yeah. So, she literally is giggling while she's talking to the attorney. She's
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, he's not like
Yeah.
that now."
Yeah. She's attention
Yeah.
seeking no matter what she does. Like, even in that situation, she's doing things to, like, get extra attention, it seems to me. I don't get
He
her.
he has been in there for 12 years, and she goes, while he was there, he got his associate's degree, and now he has
Mhm.
more college credits, and he, acts in the way of a reformed citizen, and so that's why we're trying to resubmit it.
Mhm.
And then the lawyer goes, "Okay, so I'm looking at this. So all 5 parole board members agreed to the commutation in 2022." And she says, "Yes," but then the governor turned it down. And like that's weird, right?
That's I mean, yeah, but then they did have to shackle him down in court, and he did threaten to
Yeah.
take lives. So maybe that's why she turned it down.
But if the whole parole board heard everything and agreed
Mhm.
he's been reformed and
Yeah,
can be let
sure.
out, and then they send it to the governor, there has to be a point counterpoint. There has to be a counterpoint there where she thinks his family wrote and were like, "Don't let him out." That's
Do
what
you
she
think
thinks
the
happened.
mom do you think it was the mom?
Could be. Maybe he threatened to kill the mom, and she's like,
That's what I was thinking too.
I don't want him
Yeah.
out. I'm scared of him."
Yeah.
So, the lawyer's like, "Yeah, that is very weird, and, there could be something that you don't know. So you
Right.
really need to try to get his family on board because maybe there's someone in the family that's trying to
Mhm.
sabotage it."
Right.
And she goes, "Well, let me ask you this.
Oh god. She just
If
had to.
Do you think if we got married and he had a stable relationship with a place to go with a wife, do you think that would help with the commutation request? And the lawyer goes, I don't know that for sure, but I mean, it seems like that could be a good thing.
That's
And
all she
any
needed to hear. That's all she needed to hear right
he
there.
literally, that's all he said. And she
That's it.
goes, and then
Yep.
he goes, but what you need to do is dig a little deeper to find out why it would have been
Mhm.
rejected by the governor when the whole parole roll board agreed to it.
Right.
All she hears, the
That
rest of it she hears is want, 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 Charlie Brown teacher, want, want.
Yep.
All she heard is, yes, being married would help.
Yes, that is why she went there in the first place.
Mhm.
That's all
Yes,
she wanted.
she goes, "Okay, so what I need to do is find out what's wrong with the family, and he needs to marry me. That's the 2
Yes.
points I've taken away from this lawyer fee that probably cost me $500."
Yeah. Mhm.
So she's like, it is my mission to find out what the problem is. I'm going full Aaron Brockovich. Here I go." So then she's in the car with Smiley, Smiley, super smiley, and
Mhm.
says,
Smiling at nothing. Just
"No,
smiling.
just
Like a
fine."
crazy person. Yeah.
And she goes, to get married, I think you just have to like talk to the warden and they approve it. And then you just have to show, of course, that you're getting married for the right reasons. And of course, the right reason is to get him out of prison.
No, no,
And then I
that's not how it
write, does
works.
she remind me a little of Vanessa Bayer from Saturday Night Live with that, like, oh my God, like talking with a smile all
Is
the
that how
time with the
like, is
big
she
teeth
playing
and
a
eyes on it?
character, or
Yeah,
is
it's
she
like a
like that all the
character.
time?
No, that's like a character.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, yeah. I can't take it. I can't. I want her to stop. I want something to make her mad so she'll stop smiling, but she'll probably smile through anger. She's
Yeah,
that type of girl.
she's got to screw loose.
Yeah.
So then he calls her and he's like, "Hey, lover."
Ugh.
No,
I know.
no. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
And he says, "I want to hear about the lawyer visit. I want to hear about the lawyer visit. What were
Mhm.
you thinking? What happened?" And she goes, "I think we should get married." I mean, literally, that is what the lawyer said that would really help a lot. And that is legal advice from a real lawyer.
Not a fake one. No, a real one. Yeah. And it's she failed to mention it's not like the lawyer brought that up.
No, no.
Yeah, she had to bring it up.
And he barely agreed. He was like, "I guess. I've
Yeah.
never thought of that."
Right.
So he goes, "All right, crazy pants. I don't want to talk about that. I want to hear about the legalities of what he said." And she goes, "That was legalities. I mean, the lawyer said it's going to help your commutation." And he goes, "I think that you're using me being in prison against me to
Mhm.
make me marry you so that I'll want to
Yeah.
get out." And
Yeah.
she goes, "Yeah, that's right. Because if you have support, it'll help. It'll help you get out." And
Ugh.
she goes, "Anyway, I'm also going to try to like connect more with your family to find out why it got rejected in 2022. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm headed to Waterloo. Should I just swing by their house?"
Mm-mm.
And he goes, No, no,
No.
that's kind of intrusive."
Glenn
And sh
Close, Fatal Attraction.
and she goes, "Jake is very against me reaching out to his mom, and I feel like there's gotta be some sort of secret there within the family. It's really
Yeah.
weird. I'm gonna try to figure it out. Like, why was his commendation rejected by the governor? Because his mom said no?" And, he
Mm.
goes, "Look, if you wanna chat with somebody that's gonna help you, you gotta call my pal Timmy."
Yeah.
"Alright, love you, miss you, bye." And she goes, "Okay,
Yeah.
great." I was like, "Who's Timmy?"
He like literally set her up to meet with someone who probably was in prison with him or something
Yeah,
like that,
yeah.
like in a dark alley. Like maybe he's like, maybe he'll get rid of her for me or something
Maybe
like
he'll
that.
kill
I don't
her.
know.
Yeah.
You know,
So then
problem solved.
she goes to the hotel and goes, "Yeah, I guess I can meet with this guy, Timmy." Now here's my question. Since
Hmm.
we are, scholars of this show, what
Uh
do
huh.
you think is this there's some sort of something happening with that family. There's some sort of secret. What do you think it is?
A lot of people have been saying that they think he's already married, but shouldn't that be
Yes.
easy for her to find out though?
She not looking. She didn't care. She
Oh, yeah,
hasn't been
that's
looking for that.
true. That's true. Either he's married or he did something to a family member and they
Yeah,
don't want him to come out.
I think he's already got, like, a serious girlfriend
And he's using her.
that his family does know,
Okay.
and they probably
Okay.
think he's already dropped this crazy girl, but she's probably sends him money every month, and she's trying to help him because
Yeah.
talk to the lawyers and stuff, and yeah, I
Yeah.
think another girl. Yeah,
Oh,
that's what I
she's
think.
gonna go psycho when she finds out.
Yes, she is. All right,
Okay.
let's go to Raneka. Raneka and Asante. All right. So she goes to Shakola's house, which is 100% an Airbnb. There is
Her
not
mom's house is not.
her mom's house. We've discovered is
Most
fully not because
definitely not. No.
no one would decorate that way.
When I saw them, like, okay, this confirms that this is not an Airbnb at all. No,
But Shakola's totally was. There was, I mean, nothing. It was like one
nothing.
pair of shoes on the floor, and it was like nothing on the walls. It totally was.
Yeah,
So she goes to talk to her, and Shakola says, I was pissed off about the party. I mean, I was drunk, and I was just talking about my feelings. And then
right.
you got me kicked out. She was over there just screaming her head off. She's like, I was just talking about my feelings. And she says, okay, you know what? I do owe you an apology. I do. Shakola saying this to Raneka. I do
Mm,
owe you an apology for saying that you're chasing Dick.
yeah,
'Cause I
yeah,
do hope what you're chasing is a better future, but I do think you're just chasing Dick.
you
And,
are.
Renika says, "Y'all just need to understand how I feel about Asante, and I feel safe around him,
Mm-mm-mm.
and I feel like my children will be safe around him." And then they say, "I love you," and Renika is leaving. We see his mugshot at this point. Is Asante only 5'6"? Because in that
I didn't
mugshot,
see that
he
part.
barely was top of his head touching 5'6".
And he's little.
I was like, "And he's a short king, Asante."
It's, you know something that bothered me about that scene.
What?
I really thought she went over to Shakola's house to give her Starbucks, but the Starbucks was for her.
No, 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 she wasn't sharing, she just had her own.
No, no, how rude,
Yeah.
how dreadful. Come to apologize with your own Starbucks cup.
Don't
Mm-mm-mm.
take anything for your hungover sister.
Nope.
All right, so now this is when we see the rest of Mom Sherry's house, and, it is some different
A
color
lot.
curtains. It is
Yeah,
red, red walls. It
yeah.
is thematic in every room.
Mhm. Mhm, mhm,
So now we
mhm.
know this is Sherry's style.
And lots of peach. Lots of peach.
Lots of peach, lots of red,
Lots
and then the curtains, they
yes.
had, like, 3 windows in the, like,
Yes.
breakfast nook, and it was, like, red, beige, red. I was like, "That's
Yeah.
maybe taking
Mhm.
it one step too far, but alright." So, it was a lot. So mom is talking to her and is like, you really need to think about your daughters. And
Mm.
we see the girls packing up. And then she cries and she's hugging the daughters, and the girls are tearing up too. And they go to the airport, and we see the two girls each have a backpack, and Renika has just a rolling bag. I'm like,
Yeah.
aren't they moving their whole lives?
Right. Yeah.
We do find out later that they get to this apartment. She says, we've rented a furnished apartment until the movers arrive in a week. And then when they arrive, we're going to find a place together once he's out, because he's got like 2 days till he gets out.
She's trying to
They're
do a lot in a short amount of
mhm.
time with no job.
Where are you going to put the furniture if you don't have a place to move it into? You have to rent a storage unit? Like, this makes
And
no
why
sense.
1 week? Like, why would you go and your stuff is not gonna come for, like, a whole week?
Because and then you're going to sign a lease and have a place for it to move into in 1 week, or you have to rent a unit. Like,
It's Raneka, so never mind. Of
okay.
course it doesn't make sense. It's Raneka.
So she says the plan to the girls is for them to stay with Ray while she goes to pick up Asante and bring it back home and go get my baby.
Mm,
And she
mm,
says, and
mm.
then we'll all find a place together, one big happy family. And then
Ugh,
she's telling them, like, I want y'all to be patient. I know this is weird, but I am trying to get a better life. And the one daughter goes, I don't want him to move in with us. I don't
that's
know
right.
him. What do you
Yep,
even know about him?
that's right.
Now you should have waited. You should have maybe told it before this already moved to Atlanta situation. You should have voiced
Yeah,
this
I
because you could
agree.
have stayed with Sherry probably.
Yeah, that's where I
Yeah,
would have stayed.
and me too. And she goes, well, I know he's very loving. I know he's very
Ugh.
supportive. I know
Mm,
he has a beautiful heart. And daughter
mm.
goes, well, I don't know if I like him yet. I don't even know him.
Yeah, you're moving. These are teenage girls,
Yeah.
and
What are they,
you're
like 14 and
moving.
15? Yeah.
Yes, and you're moving a convent in with your teenage girls
Hmm. Yeah.
that you don't even know.
No, never even seen him in person.
No.
And Renika says, listen, I appreciate your feelings. I appreciate you telling me this. And I know you're going to miss your friends and family. But if he's being genuine and good, I want you to give him a chance. Okay, well, what if he's
Ugh.
not being genuine and good?
Then what? What we
Then
gonna
you got
do
this.
now?
Yeah. And then she says, I want the girls to be happy because school starts tomorrow.
Why
Why?
would you move them in one day and the next day they start a whole new school in a whole new state?
This is horrible.
It is. Parenting fail 101.
She goes, I think
Yeah.
they're going to be happy because the schools in Atlanta are so much better than the ones in Kentucky. Well, I'm sure it depends on where you live and what neighborhood
Yes.
and all that.
Yeah.
So
Mm-mm-mm.
her cute friend Ray comes over, and Ray is a hero. And she said, I had to put closed caption on because I thought she said, I've known Ray for a year. But closed captioning said,
Years.
I've known her for years.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And then I was like, well, obviously she's known her for a long time. She's allowing her to take her kids. And
Right.
then we see old photos of them together. And Ray comes in and was like, listen, I've been trying to get you to move to Atlanta. You wouldn't do it. And now you're moving for this guy. And look, I don't doubt your love for him, but I do doubt
hmm
his love for you. Like, this is a huge move to make for somebody you've never met in person.
Yep. Yep.
He's getting out of prison. He hadn't had the P word for years. And he's coming right to
Mm-hmm.
you. And then she
Mm-hmm.
says, he's probably talking to other bitches right now. She's like, no,
That's
I don't think
yeah.
so.
Well,
And, and Ray goes, and she's already told us if he is, she doesn't care. She
that's
already
true.
told us.
She doesn't.
Yeah,
Yeah, she's invested too much time. Too
she doesn't
much
care.
time in a person she hasn't seen.
And then Ray goes, he's gonna promise you the world and you're gonna
Yep.
end up on the island. He's gonna be going out with those 40 other bitches he's been talking to
hmm
and sending him money, and you're gonna be out here all by yourself.
Right.
And then she goes, we need to find out what this dude is all about because my intuition is always right on point. Where's your laptop?
Yeah, yeah. You know what's so weird is that the women never think to do these things themselves. They're like just so head up in the sky. Like,
Right.
why are
Like
you
you
not
just
doing a
like you
full
just
on investigation of this
you
person?
just you just said he's Savannah's guys, Jake's probably already married. And I was like, yeah, she didn't look it up. She didn't look it up.
No. Like, how can you not look? And of course, I always say it every time. It's like they need to let these guys come out, do their thing, be free, have all the sex they want to have, eat what they want to do, hang out with their friends, and then see if y'all can have a relationship. But these bitches just are not patient at all.
No, steak, shrimp, and sex. Let them have it.
That's it. Yeah,
Let
that's
them
it.
have
And
it.
move them in and move them in.
God, what was that other guy, that real tall guy that had the tattoos everywhere and that little short, tiny girl? And all he wanted was beer, bologna, and a blowjob. And this guy wants
Yes.
sex, shrimp, and steak.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. They gotta eat. Gotta eat. That
they
prison
got
food
to eat
ain't
something.
good. They gotta eat. Yeah.
Oh my God. So Ray tells us she was engaged a long time ago to somebody in prison, and they tell
hmm
you everything you want to hear while they're locked up because they've got nothing
Right.
else to do.
That's right.
And then they get out and it's over and they go
hmm
right back to their same old ways.
That's all they know.
So Raneka and her are looking at the laptop, but they're also looking at something on the phone. So Ray goes, "All right, okay, look, all right, look. Why does he have these girls on his Instagram? What's all this heart and what's all this yours
hmm
truly? There's 5 different bitches here doing the heart. Look,
Yep.
here's another bitch. This same bitch. This girl left her whole phone number on here."
Who does that?
And she
Why
goes, "So
would you do
he's
that?
fucking with her because she got her whole phone number on here." And this was
Yeah.
2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago.
Mm-mm-mm.
And then
You know
she's
how
like,
come Raneka couldn't have found that out herself?
first of all, why has this guy got Instagram? I mean,
I
what?
mean, well, why does he have a damn iPhone? Of course he's got Instagram.
Oh
He's got a
my.
whole iPhone in prison.
So Ray is like, why is this bitch putting her phone number on his post? So she calls him or he calls her. Obviously, he calls
Mhm.
her. Or maybe she calls him. He's got an iPhone. And she calls and goes, hey. And she shows him a picture and goes, who's this bitch? And then Ray goes, all 5 of them.
That's right.
And you just see he just wipes his face like, uh-oh, uh-oh.
I have been made. Oh, of course he goes, what bitch? They always, whenever
Bitch.
a man answers a question with a question, he's already lying.
He's already
Because
trying
he
to
heard
think of
you.
it. Buying time.
Yes.
Buying
Because
time.
he heard exactly what you said. Yep.
Okay, so next time on, now normally when they do this season during, it's too much for me to write, but
hmm
I'm out here for the people. I'm doing it for you guys. This season on Love During Lockup, so Jade and Jessica stand outside the prison and or talking to Chris. He's like, "Tell me how good I look, baby," and he goes, "You look amazing." Now, Jade is on the phone and she's slurring, and she's like, "So we have to get a divorce, or you're gonna throw me to the curb?"
That's what
I don't
divorce
know what
usually means.
So maybe like the family got to, it was like, you're gonna have to divorce her because she's taking all your money. I don't know. I don't know. We don't know. But then later she's in a store talking and Jessica says to Jade, I feel like things are finally coming to light now. And then we see Jade walking near the ocean and goes, you think you're the only one lying? I lied to you too. So we don't know what
Mm-mm.
that's about. All right. Now we see uh Raneka. And she goes, oh my God, when I see Keith, my face is going to be stuck like this. No, but it's Raneka. So
Raneka and Asante.
Asante. Raneka says when she
Yes.
sees Asante, her face is going to be stuck like this. And she doesn't smile. And then Asante calls and goes, I have some bad news.
Oh
And
boy.
she goes, I don't have time for this, Asante. And then we see her standing outside a prison and she gets a call and the voice is like, wah, wah, changed. And it says,
Mm-hmm.
I'm his girlfriend.
Huge shocker there.
So when Asante calls her and says he has some bad news, do you think he's calling to say like, oh, they're not going to let me out? And then
Yes.
he is going to get out because he's going with this other girl.
So this is what I was thinking. I think his time is being pushed back because
I found
whenever
the phone.
they show the previews for Love After Lockup, he's
Uh-huh.
getting out. So we're not
Okay.
going to see him get out during Love During Lockup.
Okay. Okay. But when he calls
That's
and
just
says
what
he
I'm
has some
thinking.
when they say they have bad news, that always means I told you I was getting out in 2 days, but it's 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then apparently he's got this other girl. All right. So LaTisha gets flowers and she's like, oh, look at this. Now, this is how a man is supposed to treat you. Look at this. Then we hear a guy on the phone talking to Tisha. She's walked out of like, it
Mm-hmm.
looks like the club. Her boobs are completely out. And this person on the phone, maybe it's her brand new lawyer
Right.
says, I'm going over the books and there's 15 G's missing. I don't think Arthur would say 15
What?
G's, but
Yeah. I thought it was her husband
maybe
who
it was
said
her
that.
husband. Yeah.
Yeah, husband with Z's, not an S, with a Z.
hmm Maybe it
Yeah.
was. Anyway, there's 15
That's
G's
a lot of
missing.
money.
It is a lot of money. Yep.
Hmm.
So now Savannah, smiley face, is trying
Oh my
on a wedding
gosh.
dress and is like, this is the one. And then later she's on the phone with somebody and she's standing outside on the phone. And the person on the phone, who maybe is Timmy, or maybe she's going to meet with Timmy, the person on the phone says, I just want to know if he's a serial killer. And
Huh?
then and then she looks around and goes, yeah, it's pretty sketch. So I don't know if she's going to meet with Timmy or a PI, like we don't know.
Well, didn't it look like she had on like a wedding dress with a denim jacket on and then she throws the
Mhm.
flowers out the window?
Yeah. Yeah. She said that's the next thing she says. She looks like she's leaving her prison, goes, guess I won't be needing this, and throws some flowers out the window.
She is something else. She's scary. She's scarier than the prisoner
That usually happens.
who may have possibly beat or killed someone, and she's still scarier than him.
And threatened to murder his family. We don't know. We don't
True.
know.
Very true.
Now, Andy's on the phone, and he is
Mm-hmm.
saying, I guess to Brittany, he's saying, you're the stick to my corn dog.
Oh
And she's like, you're
God.
so lame. I love it. Now,
Ugh.
later on, his buddy is shopping with him. It looks like a lingerie store. And the buddy
Mm.
says, do you think about tracking her? And he's like, that's what I have you for. So maybe she got out
Oh
and she's like at a
boy.
halfway house or something.
Uh-huh.
And
I hope
later
so.
I hope so too. And later he's in his car and he says, now somebody here's telling me a story and I don't know who to believe.
Might be you, Andy. You like to
I,
tell them.
okay. All right. Now we see Brittany. Now, Brittany of Brittany and Key Rock has a whole new look now. She's got bangs.
Bangs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she looks cute. And she's shopping in a store with EB. Remember, that's Key Rock's
Yeah.
pretty scary looking friend.
That
And
hair.
it's really something. And she says to EB, sometimes I think you're just checking up on me. And he says, I'm
Mm.
checking up on you every day.
That's
And
scary.
she's like, he's like a stalker. It's like threatening.
Yeah.
And then we hear, wait, then we hear I put Brett, but that's not it. I meant to put Britt. Then we hear Brittany on the phone talking to someone, and the person on the phone says, yeah, there was a fight. And she goes, a fight? Well, where the hell's Key Rock? And then we see her. Well, now he's at the end of his time, and this changes what happens next. So I wonder if there was a fight and Key Rock got involved, and
Probably.
now
He seems aggressive.
and that it's going to get pushed back. The time is going to get pushed back.
Yeah, I don't like Key Rock. I don't like. He just has shown too much aggression. Just how he talks to Brittney.
Too much controlling.
Control. That's the better word.
Yeah.
Control. Yeah, and I think he totally has his friend following her around.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And the brothers and whoever else. Yeah.
Yeah, those two knuckleheads that she lives with.
We think she's being suspicious. Yeah. Leave the room. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
What was most upsetting about that scene, which was a couple of weeks ago, was the tiny coffee table.
I don't think
so
I noticed
tiny. It was so
Was
tiny.
it?
I was like, there's like, that's a couch for like 6 people and maybe 2 people could have a drink. It's more of like an end table.
They didn't know any better. They're like a
No, I was like,
table.
they're dumb.
Yeah.
All right. Tell everybody what's happening on the Libra Lounge with Keisha.
Oh my gosh, I haven't recorded in like 2 weeks.
Girl.
James is about to fire me if I don't record this week.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'm going to record this week. I don't know what I'm talking about, but I'm going to be talking.
Okay. All right.
And some of my listeners have called me out. I'm like, oh yeah, I might need to record.
What did we talk about at the beginning of this podcast? Because I was thinking, I bet you're going to talk about that. I already forgot.
We're old, Mary Payne. We're old.
It's been an hour. I've already forgotten. Shoot.
We've talked about so much already.
Yeah. Well, whatever it is, I'm sure you're going to talk about it.
You know, I'll be talking.
Are you off of that Carly Russell? Or are you leaving that poor girl alone?
I'm done with her dumbass.
All right.
Yes.
Keisha had a lot to say about that, y'all. A lot.
I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
She makes my ass itch.
Oh, well, I hate that phrase. I don't know what it means, but it's gross.
It means you're totally beyond annoyed and bothered.
But why your ass? Why does it have to be your ass?
Because sometimes, when your butt cheek kind of itches a little bit, you can't find that spot. It the itch keeps running from you.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, there we go.
I totally made that up. I totally made that up.
Well, I believed it. So
okay.
Oh my God. Everybody make sure you follow Keisha and listen to her podcast, The Libra Lounge at Keisha, and the Instagram is the same. And please make sure you follow me over on Instagram at Pink Shade Pod. You'll be probably getting a fun reel this week from my interview that I had last week with Brandy and Julie. And for people that were paying attention to that, I did have to edit that per some requests. So I did put up an unedited version, and then I did put up an edited version. So if you heard it, you heard it. Good for you. If you didn't, you can find it in one of the Facebook groups. But anyway, I did have to edit that, and I take my guests' requests very seriously because I want them to come back, and I want to be respectful of their feelings. So I did, and that's what happened. And that's all I'll say about that. All right, I'll talk to you next week, Keisha.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Ads not read by me, Mary Payne, don't necessarily reflect the views of Pink Shade. If you'd like to listen to ad-free, you're going to go on over to Supercast or Patreon, and you can find the links to Pink Shade Prime at pinkshadepodcast.com.